Hello everyone. Today we have Mr. Varun Shah and his parents, proud owners of a 3 BHK at Kumar Prospera with us. Sir, thank you so much for coming by to spend some time with us despite your busy schedule. Sir, I would request you to share your overall experience since the time of your first visit, then the subsequent visits, and then finally your registration that happened. How was your experience with us?
Sure. So, the first of all, when I visited Kumar Properties and this particular location, while looking at the hoardings, and then I thought, why don't I just go and check what are their schemes, because I was looking at that point of time to buy a flat. So when I came for the first time, there was a sample flat ready, and I think that was the best thing in order to at least understand what is going to be your house. Even if you're planning to buy, at that point of time it was too premature for me to decide whether going forward or not. But the moment I entered, it was absolutely, in terms of the salesperson who were there, they greeted me well. Secondly, that I started with the questions what I had in my mind, because if everybody comes with a separate mindset and separate questions, so I actually asked so many number of questions. So in fact, I myself was hesitating to ask further, but the sales guys made me very comfortable. So they took me to the sample flat. They explained every single bit of it, and I must say that I tried to ask many questions in terms of the future project aspects. So I found it, the best part is that there were no kind of a false promises kind of a thing, because I see that I think I can change this bit. The salesperson was very clear enough that this is what will not be allowed. Apart from that, the question in respect of whether the entrance and all other questions with respect to the fittings and all that. So what I feel is that when you come to the house, you don't really come with only these 5 or 7 questions of it. You'll have 100 questions, and your salesperson was in kind of very full prepared. There was no template kind of an answer. Okay, if somebody asks this question, you will only have to give this question. But I was quite satisfied, and actually that was my first experience when I came, and then I decided to take my family, my wife.
So where did you get to know about our project?
So Kumar Property being the name, I knew that I'm going to check few builders current residential projects. So I decided, and obviously on top of it there were hoardings. That's something I kept seeing all along in the Mundwa area and around somewhere in race course as well. So this is how brought me to this particular property, which is Kumar Prospera.
What is it that you liked the most about our project? That one thing that stood out?
One particular I have to tell you is that the layout. If I would put that as a as compared to, I must have seen at least 25 residential project that includes Panchashil's, one of the property. I've seen Amanora, I've seen Magarpatta, I've seen around Keshav Nagar also. I've seen many other projects, but frankly, that I was not really very satisfied. One thing was they were disproportionate. If I'm looking at the Panchashil like a property, obviously you are paying a bomb for that, and obviously the spacious and everything will come along with that. But now ultimately what you have to really match up with what is your budget and what is your requirement. So in terms of the layout, it is not cramped as the first thing. Even I've seen couple of other properties that the moment you enter and you see that it's actually ending, and you're paying maybe more than that or almost around the same thing. So the idea was that this is not just for me and my wife, but I'm planning to get my parents also here to stay with me. So I wanted as a complete house where I can really stay and along with my kids. So that was something, the layout was the first thing, and that was I found it very impressive.
Would you recommend this project to family and friends?
I have already recommending. In fact, a few days back only I've asked one of my friend to come and look at it. They are currently considering, because of the COVID situation, things have little bit slowed down. People are not really coming out. But myself, in fact, I've asked my father-in-law also to come and try to check and invest if he wants to invest that. So definitely I've invested and I'm going to stay in here. So that's the exact thing that I'm going to do.
During these times, do you have any message to people looking out for apartments, whether 2 or 3 BHK, why they should choose a project like Kumar Prospera by Kumar Properties?
So I think from everybody's perspective, as per their needs, workstation is one of the important aspects that people generally see. But frankly, that it is not like older age where people are sitting in one job for 50 years and retiring in the same job. They keep changing the job. So I think rather than looking at the work related aspect, because I'm here for 2-3 years and I may be changing and going somewhere else. So what you're looking at is what is the builder, how is it standing, whether the property is in terms of the title is correct or not. Then it comes to your layout. What do you need? How many people are going to stay? If you're coming with a family of 5 people and you're going to think about 2 BHK, then you need to accordingly see. But the layout is something that you need to see, and which is here it's better. The amenities, that's something I've not really so far seen such kind of an amenities nearby project, because if there are amenities like for example Amanora, there are amenities, but look at the number of people sharing in that amenities. That also one of the deciding factor, because you have a gym, but gym has 300 people coming there, and that really becomes, so that is one of the aspect that also you should people should be looking at. Secondly, the proximity to everything, what you don't have really. Next to this building there is a school, next to the other side of this building there is a mall, in fact 2 malls. Posh area in front of opposite side of this there is a Magarpatta city, which is a IT hub. EON is not really far from here. Airport is also not far from here. The closest highway, both the highways, which is one is from Ahmednagar and the other one is from Sholapur to Mumbai, which is again it's the middle of this. Station is not far away. Koregaon Park. So in terms of the location, I will give 5 stars out of 5 stars to this particular location. So there is no particular point where somebody have a second thought about it. So I think that is what people should be looking at.
Thank you, Mr. Shah, for dropping by today and sharing your valuable feedback with us today. Thank you.